Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready.
All right, welcome everybody to another great episode of the Retro Wrestling Revival. I am John, this is Chris. We're here tonight to have some fun on the show. We're going to be watching some WWF King of the Ring 1997 Part 2, because we already did Part 1 last week. So we're going to have some fun tonight. Brother Martin, how are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. What is going on, man? I hope everybody's having a fantastic night. Wait, hold on. Okay. All right, okay. So, we're good now, the theme songs and all that. But, brother, I'm excited. I am freaking blown away. I cannot wait to get involved with some King of the Ring tonight, man. The first part of it was excellent. But speaking of excellent, man, last night, me and you, we did a bonus show for all of the Retro Renegades out there, which guys, this is for fans by fans, and we did an awesome watch along to the WCW Clash of Champions, if you will. So I encourage everybody else that's seeing this later on to watch the Clash of Champions that we just did. Awesome lineup, and that perfectly goes along with. We got the Monday Night War going on, baby. We got WCW versus the WWF, okay? So we're not just focusing on the 90s Nitro content. We're going back old school, baby, because we are the definition of old school and doing the Clash of Champions watch along. So check that out. But this isn't what it's about tonight, brother. It's about King of the Ring, man. And me and you we're just starting to get into the groove of things, and man, we're about to get that rocket fuel and about to explode. So, man, I'm sorry, I'm about to jump out of my skin, man. I'm so excited with everything. And what do we got on the docket tonight for the King of the Ring? But overall, brother, I'm doing fantastic.
That's wonderful. It's good to hear that. Well, we got a good show tonight. It's only 3 matches on this. Jesus Christ, we got to get you a mic stand, man. We got to get you a mic stand, buddy. Or a better one, at least.
That was my cell phone.
That was your cell phone knocking that one off. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we only have 3 matches on tonight because we already, like you said, did the first half there. So we have Mankind versus Triple H in the finale of the King of the Ring 1997. Who's going to be the new King of the Ring? It's going to be decided between Triple H and Mankind. So we're going to see where that goes. Yeah. That should be a good match there. And we're going to have Steve Austin taking on Shawn Michaels in a singles match here. Because he's in this feud over the last few weeks and everything like that. And then the main event that has gotten no build-up whatsoever, Faarooq versus The Undertaker for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship.
I'm not looking forward to that match whatsoever because of the build-up. Damn, and it's nothing against the wrestlers because flat out 2 legends, 2 Hall of Famers. I have nothing against the Undertaker. I have nothing against Ron Simmons, but it's like we keep saying, me and you, like we're fans of storytelling, we're fans of build-up, and you can have the most talented people within the world, but if there's no build-up or no reason for them to fight, why the hell should we care if they don't care?
They haven't done a good job of building this up at all. It's just
it's
been non-existent except for like the last week or so on the show overall. But yeah, let's see how the match goes. It might be a good match. It might be fun. Let's see how
I'm hoping.
Goes. I'm hoping so too. Of course, absolutely. Daniel's here. He says, "By God, we got King of the Ring."
King of the Ring,
no
baby.
Jimmy King though. I wish we had some Jimmy King in here.
Dude, Jimmy King is the absolute man. And speaking of kings, man, the human wrecking machine, Zeus was on my television screen earlier because I was playing WWE 2K23, man. Zeus is a badass on the game, actually.
Love Zeus.
So,
a dead character against a pure racial character. Beautifully put together in 1997. That is the fact.
Dude, chef's kiss.
Can you imagine them trying to do that shit today and get away with it?
No.
It wouldn't be for a minute able to go. So
not at all.
Yeah. Well, I always love the King of the Ring, so let's see what we got with it. If you guys want to watch along with us, it's right over on the Peacock app. We're at the timestamp is 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 45 seconds is where we left off at last time. So 1 hour, 11 minutes, 45 seconds is where we're at for King of the Ring 1997.
All right,
bro. Let me know when you're good, buddy.
I got you. I'm at 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 35 seconds. Let me get.
I skipped ahead a little of the interviews there just to save us a couple minutes.
Yeah, you bastard. What's wrong with you?
No, I know. I didn't want to hear Todd Pettengill. So
wow.
Yeah, that son of a bitch with what he did to Jerry. I'm done with him.
Okay. I got you. You have a rightful grievance. Okay.
He's got heat with me always for his mistreatment of Jerry.
Okay, so 111.15 you said?
111.45.
All right, so I'm at 05 right now. Let me see. All righty, I'm at the 45, brother. Let's do this.
All right, everybody. So if you want to watch along with us, go right ahead. King of the Ring 97. Once again, 1 hour, 11 minutes, 45 seconds is where we're at. Let's do it now. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hit that button now, son.
All right.
We got Mankind coming out. Yes,
legendary Mankind. I love him.
Man, says the dead man quit because of Dirty Dom. He wants no part of these days. He doesn't want to get on the prison yard with Dom.
Dude, I don't blame him.
Dom's going to take his ass to school.
Dude, Dom is a badass, and the thing is that with Dom, he actually beat Sami Zayn tonight, clean.
Good for Dom.
So straight up, they are pushing him to the moon, and like right now, I mean, some people don't like me saying this, but I said with the exception of maybe Roman, there's no better heel in all of the WWE right now. Maybe the whole business. I mean, it's like we keep saying, Dominic, man, he's so freaking over being a heel. He can't even do a promo, man. He's gonna have Rhea be his surrogate.
He might be the best heel in wrestling right now. I know Roman's great and Roman's doing amazing things. Roman still gets a lot of cheers because people love the tribal chief stuff. But by God, man, people are just eating Dominic up every time he gets on that mic. This dude gets nuclear fucking heat, man. I love it. Good for Dom.
Do you think whenever it runs its course that Dom will become a massive babyface?
I think down the road, maybe, yeah. But I think they got to play this heel shit up for a while because it's so darn good. Every time I see it, this guy gets just tremendous heat from the crowd.
God, yeah.
Daniel says the same thing. Nobody touches him on a heel scale. It's great to see. Good. I got nothing but love for Dominic Mysterio. Daniel says, I guess KO has a legit injury too. That's why a storyline injury tonight. I didn't know that they had a storyline injury, so that sucks to hear.
Oh, wow. And the thing is that with Dom, he's the new North American champion. So
good for him. Getting a little gold there. So
he beat Wes Lee last week on the NXT brand.
Okay.
I don't know who Wes Lee is, but yeah.
He's one of the Forgotten Sons.
Oh, yes. Okay.
He's
Well,
no
cool.
longer forgotten. He got some gold on him for a little bit there.
Oh, that's awesome. And he beat Sammy tonight, and like with Sammy, he is over like Rover. So if you could get like a clean pin against Sammy, that they're putting you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So,
And you know what? These two guys were in the right direction for WWE in 1997 here. Triple H is moving himself up the ladder real nice. Had some nice wins in this tournament. And what more can we say about Mick Foley that we haven't already said? This guy is just a legend.
Like for us, man, we just gush over him like he's an absolute legend. He's a phenomenal.
Mick can't do any wrong for me, man. Like, I just love him.
Same here.
He's just such a great human being in general, and then he's just so great in all of his characters. Mick's one of those guys that he does no wrong for me. And I know some people don't like his politics, and I'm not talking politics on this show because I don't get into that here. That's for another. Yeah. This is a wrestling podcast, but I know Mick has scaled back on it from what I understand, but I think people forget because they can't get rid of this bullshit with politics and people's personal, stances on things and looking at the talent. It'd be like me and you who don't align with a certain talent because of their politics and views and say, oh, they suck in the ring because they support this and that. That would be bullshit for us.
I agree. And the thing is that for me, I am a massive fan of Kane. I respect him for his contributions for the business. I think he's one of the greatest big men of all time. Do I agree with his politics? Not even close. We are the polar opposite on that. But that doesn't stop me from appreciating what he's done in the ring.
Yep, absolutely.
So there you go.
Daniel mentions a good point here. He says Dom was a forgotten son too until Rhea got her legs around his head.
Oh, God, yeah.
I have a feeling we'll see Hunter and Mick fight a few more times over the next few years. Just a hunch. Yeah, I think it's a good hunch, Daniel. I think that's a good bet to make.
Which it's almost like Mick and Hunter, they fought each other almost every whichever single time like they went up the mountain, whatever spot like they went to next, they met up with each other and like they beat the hell out of one another.
The chemistry that Mick and Triple H always had with one another was just absolutely phenomenal. Like these guys just had great chemistry. Dare I say, he's one of probably Mick's greatest rivals of all time.
Hunter has said this on many occasions that if it wasn't for his feud in the year 2000 with Mick. Mainly that match at the Royal Rumble, the year 2000. That's the match that the fans actually took him serious as a main eventer, being the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he took it to like another level. I mean, the same could be said for Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Mick made Randy's career. I mean,
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all, man.
So,
I think you're spot on all that. Daniel mentions a great point. He says Mick is a guy who shows up on Dark Side of the Ring. He can't find anything bad to say. He couldn't even find a bad thing to say about Sonny, which is tremendous right there. I didn't see the Sonny episode yet because they don't have it on YouTube, but I'll be checking that one out when it comes out on.
It's a shame, honestly. Which I'll be honest with you, poor Chris Candido, dude.
Yeah.
You speak about love being blind and that you loving somebody regardless of their faults.
No.
Chris unconditionally loved her, and it was just unfortunate because literally he knew she was cheating on him, and she would be in the same locker room as Shawn Michaels while Chris was man. It broke my heart hearing the stories about everything.
Daniel says the Doink episode is by far my favorite MVP of this season so far. Yeah, it was a tremendous episode, the Doink one. Boy, it was a dark episode.
Speaking of great heels, man, Matt Bourne was fantastic.
He was definitely good. He was really good. That's for sure.
So yeah,
I'm glad when they move away from this stupid character that they had Triple H doing though with the Greenwich blue blood type thing. Like,
oh yeah, it was terrible.
That stuff was so played out to me by this point. I mean, how many times have we seen that through the years with so many different characters?
Well, this was of like the bygone era of the new generation right here. And the thing is that he slowly evolved from like the blue blood to the degenerate to the game. And it was such a fun maturation process to watch with him. And me and you, man, we watched him every step of the way.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no doubt about it. I've seen him since WCW days, that's for sure.
The Terrorizing days, right?
Terrorizing, yep. I remember when he was on WCW for that year.
Wasn't it Nash that saw him on a show that or Shawn Michaels, and they really liked him, and like they were a fan of his?
I don't
Something
remember.
like that.
Yeah, it was probably one of them, but I don't remember right offhand. I wish I could tell you I remember that one, but I don't. So
Yeah.
Daniel says I miss the original Blue Blood Hunter music though, not this one he used here.
Yeah.
It was like super that like soft, music or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one, Daniel. I would agree with you on that.
Oh yeah, like that.
Was Chyna was something to look at here.
She was. I mean, absolute. She was a believable bodyguard for Hunter, and the thing
she grabs you in when you see Chyna, right? Like, she just grabs you in when you see her, and you're like, man, you're like, this is somebody I want to see what's going on with this character. Like, she had that believability factor.
Oh yeah, and the thing is that like Chyna, you would think because she's a female that she wouldn't be believable, but she's one of the few females that you could believe she could be like a bodyguard and she could whip your ass.
Yeah.
I would say, but I'd say like a modern day version, and I know I've said this before, but Rhea Ripley.
Absolutely. She'll be better than Chyna. She'll be better than Chyna at the end of the day all day. But that's not a slight on Chyna as a performer. She was amazing, and she was a pioneer, and she was groundbreaking, and she was something we had never seen really at that point, and she took it to a whole other level.
I agree.
Rhea's that to me, and I think she'll easily overshadow some of Chyna's stuff later on if she can stay healthy and keep grounded and keep her head right in the game, which I don't see any reason why. I mean, she's only like 26 years old or something like that.
I know she's extremely young, so she has so much time to grow. Oh yeah.
Daniel mentions a good point though too. To think he was supposed to win the year before, and instead we get Austin 316. Talk about a huge home run. Daniel, we're going to talk about this on an episode in the future on some stuff we're going to be doing that we're going to mention next week. But this is going to be a topic that we're going to bring up because I'll give a little spoiler on some segments we're going to do. We're going to be doing a little bit of rebooking and kind of revisionist stuff and taking a look at some things. And what would have happened if this happened? What would have happened if Triple H did win, that King of the Ring that year, and we didn't get Austin 316? So it's a future segment we're going to do on the show in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that you can go back and fantasy book as a fan.
The armchair fantasy booking. That's pretty.
And we're just fans here having a good time and talking wrestling. That's what we like. But,
and
we were talking about that the other night.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be one of them, and which I'm gonna give like a little taste of a follow up one with that. We will be talking about the curtain call and how that drastically altered the course of pro wrestling. What if Hall and Nash were to have re-signed with Vince McMahon? What would have happened? Would the NWO have existed? Would we have had the Monday Night Wars as close as we did? I'm just saying. Just crazy to think.
Oh, absolutely. Mick always makes me nervous with that spot where he wrapped his head up in the ropes like that. Isn't that how he got his ear ripped off in Japan?
Yep. No. It was Germany. Vader.
Sorry, with Vader. Wasn't it that same spot that ripped his ear off?
Yep. Yeah, that's correct. It did.
And then here he is, still doing it. What?
Mm-hmm.
Mick was just one of the toughest sons of guns ever.
No, wait, hold on. Say it like Santino. Son of a gun.
He's one of the toughest son of a gun.
Oh yeah.
What's Santino doing? Is he in Impact still?
Yes.
Good for him.
And he's doing fantastic work. He's pretty much like the GM of
all right.
Of Impact. He's doing such a great job.
Does he wrestle anymore, or he can't wrestle?
I do not know, to be honest with you. I've not watched a ton of clips with Impact, but I know he's on camera. I don't know if he wrestles or not, but
Daniel says the curtain call, a whole episode on Goldust's finisher isn't enough, a whole season at least.
Dude, good God, yes. And for that and the kiss on Ahmed from Goldust.
Ahmed's still pissed about that to this day. That's why that's why he puts himself in those long slumbers to try to forget the memories.
You never saw him wake up so fast, did you?
No, if you want to get Ahmed up in the morning, the best part of waking up is not Folgers in your cup. Just get Goldust to give him a smooch there, and he'll wake up.
Yes.
Yeah. You could give that motherfucker. You could give that motherfucker the finest, strongest Colombian beans, and put that smell right in his nose, and he ain't gonna get up.
No.
Dustin lays a kiss on him. He's getting up when he's ready, and he's swinging.
There you go.
He's gonna be the rest of the day. He's gonna be more productive than he's been the last decade.
So he can get away from him. I mean, I'm just saying in general. And
kiss on Ahmed. Woo! That's a rated R season.
Yes.
What do you think Ahmed's doing with his life right now?
Besides sleeping?
Yeah. I know he does a signing here and there, but
I don't know. I would say honestly, which I don't mean to talk shit because I don't know him personally, but the thing is maybe focusing on family, maybe focusing on work.
Work?
I don't
really think this guy's got a job.
I don't know, to be honest, but
this guy's gonna Pearl River plunge his boss if he looks at him wrong, you know?
Because honestly, I just want the best for the guy deep down. But yeah, I have no fucking clue. But yeah, damn, that's a really good question. What's Ahmed doing?
I mean, because he can't be that old that he's retired fully from the game, and I don't think he made enough money in his few years in the ring to retire from for life. So he's got to be doing something.
Oh, especially back then, because remember, this was right before Vince did company-wide guaranteed contracts. You had to show up to every single show to get paid. So yeah,
Daniel says he's probably yelling at the wall about how Vince screwed him over.
Yeah.
Oh man, these two are having a good match in the ring here, actually.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah, they're having a good match in the ring here.
And the thing is that man, I am stoked. I'm excited because once again, me and Daniel on the 5th of August, we're going to go to AEW Collision. So it'll be my first time seeing CM Punk live. It'll be my first time seeing Samoa Joe live. I'm hoping to see some FTR. I'm hoping to see some Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Maybe Daddy Ass.
He's retired now. He retired the other night, I heard.
Really?
Yeah, he put his boots in the ring there after his last match and I walked away. Who knows if it's a storyline, but usually they take that pretty seriously.
Well, at least he can walk into the ring.
Absolutely. He still looks great. You know, he still looks like he's doing good stuff. So,
dude, he looks in better shape than he has whenever he was in his prime.
Yeah. Steroids will do that for you. So,
yes.
Yep. Steroids and tons of time in the gym will do that for you. So, good for him. I mean, he's 59 years old. I think it's about time to hang it up, right?
Do you think he's going back to WWE?
No, I think he's going to stay in AEW and do his thing over there.
I got you.
He's another one that looks like a miserable fuck, though, in real life.
His kids look miserable.
I don't like those kids at all. They suck.
I agree.
He just looks like a Greg Valentine miserable level.
I agree.
That's just me, though.
Well, yeah. I put the Billy's kids within the same category as Brian Pillman Jr. Just the talent didn't really fall off the tree to hit him. It just completely fucking missed.
Pretty much.
So yeah.
Pretty much. Daniel says, I always look at my sleeping pills and ask myself, WWAD, what would Ahmed do?
I love it.
He would take them all if that was the case. Saturday nights are for fighting. I might even get into the ring and take on the world. His kids are in AEW, and he ain't going anywhere without the ass boys. As soon as he leaves, those two talentless schmucks are going to be sent packing.
Would you say Hook is successful? Because he's obviously a form of nepotism as well.
I think he's got a lot to prove, but I think he resonates with the crowd for some reason. You know, he really resonates with the crowd. But
okay.
Mandible Claw and Triple H here. Chyna's about ready to interfere. Yep, there it is. She pulled Mick right out.
We're talking about this other stuff, guys, but like we are watching the match.
We are watching the match here too. I just had to cover that part, but
and Chyna, this is a prime example of how valuable she is. She's that great equalizer because just whenever you think Hunter is down and out, guess what? She's that one that could do like that little move. She can grab that leg. She can do like that punch in the balls just to distract the wrestler or to distract the ref long enough to help Hunter.
Yep.
And that's genius. That's smart. And it's kind of like I like the modern product. Rhea doing the same exact thing for Dominic.
Yep, absolutely. You said about Hook though. I think Hook's got potential, but I think he's got a lot. He's got a lot to do in there, but I think for whatever reason he really resonates with the crowd a lot. And I think
he is scrawny.
He is, but he's just a young kid, He's going to put on some size. Not everybody's gifted, to look like Bobby Lashley and Sid Vicious and everybody like that. It's a different time now. So
he needs to aim to look like Bastion Booger. I think that'd be a great aim to look.
She did yank him out of the ring like he weighed 10 pounds. She was a strong,
good God, yes,
human being. Chyna was that missing piece to his presentation. They tried to give him another managers and it failed. Hunter finally felt more like a mid-carder. Yeah, she put him over.
Oh, yeah, because Hunter it was Mr. Perfect, and I think it was Mr. Hughes as his managers before he had Chyna.
Yeah, and then he had Sable coming out with him for a little bit when he started that whole gimmick type of thing.
And that was right after the debut of Mark Marrow after WrestleMania 12. So
they had her coming out for a little bit and everything. They got Mixed Mask off here, which is really kind of rare.
I think they're trying to...
I love that clothesline over the rope.
God, yes.
I love that.
They're trying to humanize them more and more with the fans.
You got it, bro. You got it 100% right there. Spot on. I was just going to say the same exact thing. That's the reason they did that stuff. Because that's what they were trying to do to get his character over differently.
Oh, yeah. Just imagine Mick driving his kids to school with those bald spots.
Jesus, I know. Daniel says, the mask is off. Is it Cactus Kind or Man Jack?
Man Jack, baby.
Man Jack. But, see, this is the sign of when writing was really good, and giving credit to the writers at this time for WWE, Russo, Ferrara, the guys who were helping out, Vince McMahon, whoever was out there doing all the work to make this. That's when you didn't see gaps and things as much. They were telling a story by something as simple as taking this guy's mask off to make him more human to everybody. Because that's what they've been doing. They've been making him an endearing character to the fans for the last few weeks instead of this crazy psycho in the boiler room that was attacking the Undertaker and burning people up and having graveyard matches and all that shit, And then what's it going to turn into? It's going to turn into Dude Love here shortly.
Yep. Because the more sides you show, the more three-dimensional they become. Oh, good God, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that fucking table didn't break very easy either. Ow.
My favorite finisher of all time. I love the pedigree. It looks so effective.
Daniel says need these simple tables back. Black tablecloth, boom. I like the simple too. I agree with you, Daniel.
Beautiful. Where's the Nigerian the announce team at from Nigeria? I would really love to listen to them.
They probably got them in the back. Only the French, the American, and the Spanish one got a tape out at that point. So,
what about the Guatemalan, the announce team from Guatemala?
They didn't have television in '97 there yet, so they didn't have an announce team yet. That was 1998.
I gotcha.
Yep. That was 98.
Oh, good God.
Jesus, I know. Daniel says they're in the parking lot. Man. This guy took a beating on his fucking body, bro.
Damn.
He might have been the toughest son of a bitch at this time in the ring. And I'm not saying he was, the toughest in regards to street fighting, but in regards to the bumps and the pain. Ow, fudge. Look at that fucking guy on the back there. The ring crew guy got nailed too.
Even with him landing on a person, good God, that hurts.
This guy didn't go light on anything.
No.
He didn't have like doing something half-assed. He just didn't.
No, I agree.
It's impressive, man.
Oh, do you know somebody that I would love to see live? I would love to see Danhausen. And I want him to curse me.
You don't want to curse from him.
I don't.
You don't.
That in Mr. RJ City.
You don't want Danhausen to curse you. RJ City, though, is great.
He is.
Daniel says how he's functioning today is still a miracle. I agree, Daniel. I was just about to say the same thing again. You guys are reading my minds on things tonight.
How Mick is not a severe drug addict because of
amazing, right?
Yeah.
How he can even get up and get, I know he says how hard it is for him, but how he can even get up and get out of bed after the bumps that he took is just insane. Pedigree
Beautiful.
there. Is that going to be it? Let's see.
God, beautiful pedigree.
1, 2, 3. There's your new King
Excellent
of the Ring.
match.
Yeah, really good
Great
match.
Story.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about right here.
Yep. That was tremendous. That was a fantastic match. Great storytelling in the ring. Great feather in Triple H's cap here to really start pushing him on the upward trajectory in his career.
And which I'm going to do like a 5-star system here, and I would give this 3.5 stars. So yeah,
I don't do stars. That guy's a douche. I don't do stars.
I'm joking, but yeah, like the funny thing is that apparently AEW is on track with by the end of the year to have more 5-star matches than the WWE has ever had.
Wow, that's impressive. I bet you they're going to be fucking writing that on their gravestone one day when they're 90 and they're passing away. Got 5-star matches from Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer. Woo. Wow.
Did you know that Kurt Angle has never gotten a 5-star match?
Yeah, I know that. I saw that clip from Chris Van Fleet when he asked him. And you
How
know,
the hell?
I know Chris Van Fleet doesn't need a shout out from us. That guy's big time. Like,
oh, he's excellent.
He's excellent, man. And he called Dave Meltzer on his bullshit, which I love.
Yeah.
You know, I actually listened to that interview almost all the way through with Dave, which was very interesting, so to speak, but it was there. Daniel says you are not ready for a Danhausen curse. You better be scared.
I'm not. Okay. All right. I got you.
Chyna's mere presence would make it at least 4 stars out of pure fear.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Look at him.
Chyna.
Do you think he's got that beautiful robe right there?
He does.
Pettingill out of the ring. Get him out.
He does.
Get him out of the ring, Chris. I don't want him here.
And I heard that
Chris, tell Pettingill to leave.
Get out right now, boy. And I heard that Daniel owns Mabel's. He owns Mabel's
That's
jacket.
Big fucking robe.
And that's actually his car cover for his.
Look at how cheap that crown is right there.
Oh god, yeah.
It's got like a little styrofoam thing in the top to keep it out. It's like one of those goofy hats that you got from the carnival, you know, those big Dr. Seuss looking things.
Oh god, yeah.
They gave it to the seamstress and told her to make some glitter and shit on it, and there you go.
Just cheesy as shit. And the thing is that what you call it? Daniel uses Mabel's robe as his car cover during storms.
I use it as toilet paper when I drink IcoPro. So
oh my god, it's that big. It stretches that far.
It's that bad, brother. Especially when you take the strawberry rhubarb one. Woo!
God damn, man.
Daniel says, Todd dropping stuff like no tomorrow, embarrassing yourself after treating Jerry like garbage. Damn right. Mabel's car cover is perfect, even in thunderstorms and monsoons.
I love it. Oh. We should seriously market Mabel's car covers.
No, I can't.
I think we'll sell 3 of them.
Maybe 2. Maybe 2.
Oh, did you hear that they changed the name of Twitter?
No, what's it called?
X.
Are you serious?
That's it, X.
Are you serious?
I am as serious as a heart attack, yes.
When did you hear this?
It was on Twitter. Okay. Fucking Elon Musk confirmed it.
Well, I'm not on on Twitter, so it's called X.
Does he realize that the 1990s are over, like with the extreme fad?
I guess, man. Elon Musk can do whatever he wants with the type of money that he's got, buddy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. He could go buy a country and go make himself the dictator and leader and still never run out of money. That guy's he's doing good for himself in life. I'm not disrespecting Mr. Elon Musk.
That's true because
what would Twitter maniacs be called? X-Pac.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh. Do you think that was the right person to put the King of the Ring on there with Triple H as we wrap up the match?
Without a doubt, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Seeing where it led to him,
yeah.
Yes, I agree 1,000%. And like the match was fantastic. Mick did a phenomenal job, like with having him go over. And the thing is that Chyna played her part to perfection. Honestly, the match was mapped out to perfection to help show the strengths of Hunter, but to show the recklessness of Mick. He's trying to do whatever it takes to win it, but unfortunately, that recklessness that caught up with him.
And you know what? That loss took nothing away from Mick Foley. No. Took nothing away from him whatsoever. You don't think anything less of the guy at all for losing that. I mean, he had the odds stacked against him with Chyna's presence. He had taken a beating all night long. All those bumps he took on the outside. He lost nothing. In the fans' eyes by losing that match. I'm sure.
I agree 1,000%. So I mean, just this pay-per-view has actually been really good.
Yeah, it has been. WWE usually shows up, even at this time, they usually showed up pretty well for pay-per-views.
We can't say the same. Well, we can't say the same for 1995, but yeah.
1995 was a bad year. 94 was a bad year. Bad. Definitely wasn't their strong point there, so to speak. They weren't doing too well for themselves.
Which I would have to say 1995 is kind of like Donald Trump's second marriage. So just saying. Anyways, yeah. Hey-o.
Hey, zinger.
Now
it's time for the main event, Daniel says. The headline feud, the championship feud, the best built part of Raw, the tag champions fighting each other. Eat your heart out, Taker and Faarooq.
Spine on the pine.
Spine on the pine, eh?
Spine on the pine, eh? Like we go to Saskatoon, eh? We get some, we go moose hunting. And then all of a sudden, y'all, we got these extremely stupid idiots, eh? Like from the South, okay?
Don't you dare disparage the good people of Saskatoon with your shitty impression of them. They're good, fine people, Martin, all right?
We got people.
Apologize to the people of Saskatoon.
I'm sorry, people from Saskatoon.
All right, you got it. They forgive you. They're not vindictive.
They got great saloons in Saskatoon, eh?
Saskatoon was a big part of wrestling history. Bret Hart won his first title there.
Oh yeah, it was. And there's Saskatoon legends like Skeeter Pete.
Dude,
I mean, just
if you ain't ever seen a Skeeter Pete match, you better go pop that thing up on the 9mm, videos and shit.
Yes,
or 8mm, whatever the fuck they were.
Oh yeah,
you better go pop that up. Skeeter Pete, he could go. He could go.
There's rumors that actually Skeeter was the inspiration for Tom Stone, or vice versa. So just saying.
Scuffy McGee was pretty damn good too.
Oh, dude, Scuffy was the man.
Then he turned it into a pitching career, which him and Brigma.
Dude, oh man, amazing. Scuffy's screwball slider combo, man, out of this world.
His forkball snotball was even better.
God, man. You couldn't hit it, man. Barry Bonds struck out 13 times in one game.
Yeah.
Because of that shit.
100%.
Speaking of legends, we got the greatest technical wrestler in the history of the business, and I would love anybody to argue that with me.
All right, so you mentioned Brett here as he's coming out, the greatest technical wrestler. So I didn't read the whole story, but he apparently volunteered, his services to AEW to be a producer or coach or something to the extent of that, and they had no interest in it. Right? Pretty amazing, huh? Pretty amazing.
That's like having Shawn Michaels volunteer and you saying, no, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I got to read the whole article. I just saw the clip of it, just the highlight when it came through. So I got to read the whole thing. But for them to not want to take on the services of a guy like Bret Hart blows my mind. It's like you said, it's like WWE of Shawn Michaels when he probably came to them and said, hey, or I'm sure they approached him about it. But, even if they didn't, if Shawn Michaels would come up to you and say, hey, I want to come down and move to Florida and go work at the NXT center. Yeah, please, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, come on down and let's do this, please. Like that blows my mind that they would not want to get a guy like him. So,
I mean, whenever you got people like freaking, I'm sorry, I don't sound like a dick, but you got people like Hangman Page. He's the one that's giving advice to the youngsters, and he's the veteran.
He's like 31 or whatever. So yeah. Let's not ask Bret Hart. Daniel says Scuffy McGee was a scuff of a good guy. He was a jam up guy though too. Daniel.
He was.
Barry Bonds' head grew so big because he couldn't comprehend how good Scuffy was. No other reasons. It wasn't the steroids. It was just how good Scuffy was.
Oh, God, man. Scuffy was a legend.
And he didn't take steroids, though. He just took cream.
I mean, yes, cream.
Boy, Bret is tearing this shit up out of this crowd, and I love it.
I love it.
What do you like better, Bret as a babyface or as a heel?
Heel, hands down. God, by God, yes.
I love him as a babyface too. Don't get me wrong. I think he's great. But this is the best work of his career in '97.
Yeah. And the thing is it's kind of like with Roman. Okay, Roman, he could pull off being a great babyface, but there's no comparison when it comes to his heel work, and Bret's the same way.
Zero. I agree.
Yeah.
Bret is fantastic at anything he does for me. I love Bret the Hitman Hart. I love, like I said, love him as a babyface, all that stuff. But his heel work is phenomenal.
By God, yes.
He knows how to irritate people. He knows how to get a crowd to piss him off. He takes something so simple as this Canadian shit, the Canadian heat towards the Americans and all that stuff, and kind of sparking that rivalry up. And he can take that and just turn it into a complete trash session on the fans and everybody to get them to hate him.
Oh God, yes. And the next pay-per-view is going to be a phenomenal main event. It's going to be, I think it's like the 10-man tag match. It is the one where the Hart Foundation gets a freaking deafening ovation at the Saddle Dome in Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait. I think it's the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view.
That's the next one. He was just talking about that. There, yeah. Okay, so here's a question for you. I love Pillman's work. I think he's amazing.
Yes.
One of the greats. Was a revolutionary guy in many ways, and the stuff that he did was just a tremendous talent. Do you think Pillman fit well with the Hart Foundation here, and that he should have been in it?
No.
I don't either. I don't.
He was the outlier. It
didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, did he train with them or something? Was he a close personal family friend? I mean, you look at the Neidharts married to, Bret's sister, Davey married to Bret's sister, Owen, Bret's brother, Bret, of course, the oldest brother, here in this faction out of Owen, leader of the Hart Foundation. Like, Pillman, he was great, did a great job in it. And I love, the stuff that he was doing. He just didn't fit in it for whatever reason to me. He is inspired by Brad Armstrong's hair. What a legend for sure, Daniel.
Oh, God,
like America because they tried to make him a cowboy. He got PTSD every time he was in the U.S.
Okay, so Brian Pillman graduated from the dungeon. That's why.
Okay, all right, gotcha. That's what I was thinking.
Billy Graham, Greg Valentine, Alan Coedge, Davey Boy Smith, Brian Pillman, Jushin Thunder Liger, Ricky Fuji. Good God, like there's a lot of people that have big stars that have graduated from there.
I've heard the Greg Valentine one before, that he went up there when he was breaking into the business and his dad sent him up there to go live with them, I think for like a year or something like that, because I guess Greg's dad was equally miserable from what he kind of put, and people had said he was kind of like an old school type guy. And he wanted Stu to break him in because he knew Stu would probably beat the shit out of him. So
you think Stu Hart would break him in?
He's gonna stretch you down there.
I'm gonna stretch you. That's right.
Yeah.
And okay,
Stu gonna get you.
Here's some other famous graduates.
It is Abdul the Butcher, Billy Jack Haynes.
Abdullah could fit in a dungeon?
Apparently. Wow. I guess they had to reinforce the fucking walls so he wouldn't bleed. Anyways,
Hey Chris, we have a special cameo tonight here. There's a storm outside again here tonight, so
Great.
he's very scared. But Charlie's here.
oh, yeah. Hey Charlie, hey, how you doing, buddy?
It's Charlie.
Hey
Hey,
Charlie,
Charlie. Charlie
Hey,
doesn't like
Charlie.
the thunderstorms.
hey Charlie, what's scarier, Stu Hart's dungeon or thunderstorms?
He thinks Greg Valentine's scarier.
Or seeing Michael P.S. Hayes half naked with the Confederate
No,
flag?
that's the scariest thing in the world. I was
Okay.
in the military for 12 years and saw combat more than anybody would ever want to see.
Oh god.
That shit scares me and gives me more PTSD than my time in the military.
Oh come on, that ain't right.
Daniel says Greg Valentine couldn't graduate from his ABCs, yet graduated from the dungeons. I forever have a beef with Stu.
I got you. So, Benoit, Jericho, Christian, David Hartsmith, Davey Boy Smith, the Dynamite Kid, Edge, Fitz Von Erich, Gene Anderson,
Fritz
Gorilla
Von
Mon-
Erich went there?
Apparently, he was a trainee there.
Wow. Talk about two tough sons of bitches when you get Stu Hart and Fritz
Yeah.
Von Erich together.
Good lord, yeah. Gorilla Monsoon. Speaking of someone else that was tough. Dean Hart, Smith Hart, Ross Hart, Wayne Hart, Bret Hart, Keith Hart, Bruce Hart, Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart, Jake Roberts,
Yeah, he's told that story before too. His dad sent him up to work with them.
the Junkyard Dog, Justin Credible.
Hmm.
I did not know that. Ken Shamrock. I think they're just basing Shamrock off of that match that he had with Owen. And
No, Shamrock had wrestled before people even realized that he did, before he was doing his pancrase stuff.
yeah,
And Shamrock's dad was an old school guy with wrestling. So Shamrock, people don't realize that about Shamrock and Severn. Both of them had been in professional wrestling before they got their break in the WWE. So they weren't like these like two homegrown talents, that just, were great UFC fighters and then came out of nowhere.
Right.
Like they had both trained in wrestling for many, many years.
I got you.
Dan and Ken Shamrock too.
Okay, so we
Other
got
UFC legends too that a lot of people don't know of that also trained in it before was a guy like Mark Coleman. Mark Coleman did too.
I did not know that.
Yeah, not that they were as extensive. Dan and Ken had a lot of extensive experience in wrestling before they even got in. Not just amateur wrestling, but pro wrestling.
That's fascinating. I did not know that. And for the dungeon, we have Klondike Bill, Lance Storm, Mark
Klondike
Henry.
Bill was there?
Yeah.
The dirtiest bastard in the history of wrestling?
Dude, yeah.
Wow.
Dude, Masahiro Chono. You couldn't tell, but yeah, Masahiro Chono went there. Nikolai Volkov, Roddy Piper, Steve Blackman.
Wow.
Okay, then that explains it with Steve Blackman, man. He's a badass. Anyway, now are you sure Blackman wasn't teaching Stu?
I don't know.
Just saying.
Daniel says if you weren't a son and didn't graduate from the dungeon, you were disowned and made to watch Greg Valentine promos and go to a comedy club with Ahmed.
Oh my God, that's just such torture.
All right, so who do you think would have won in a fight? Because you mentioned Fritz Von Erich earlier. Let's just fantasy see this in a street fight. Who you taking, Fritz or Stu in their heyday?
Stu.
I got to go with Fritz. I bet you Fritz would. I think it would be all the way down to the end, but I bet you Fritz takes it.
I think Fritz would be the type to where he's more of like a street fighter, and Stu is more of like the grappler type to slam you down to the ground and like to fucking basically snap your arm, snap your leg. I mean, so yeah.
Oh, it'd be interesting to see that one.
And really quick, like the last couple that were graduates from the dungeon: Tyson Kidd, Tom McGee, yeah, and Victor. Remember Victor from
Ascension?
Yeah, Victor from the Ascension.
That's pretty wild.
So,
Tom Stone tried to go, Daniel said, to the dungeon. Stu refused. He wouldn't dare try to stretch the stone.
Dude, even though Stu had stone hands, man, it was nothing that he could handle with Tom Stone.
Boy, Shawn Michaels looks like such a fucking douchebag at this point in time.
He does. How many somas do you think he's taken before the match?
Probably a bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. People, that was who they were. We've all had our demons and we've all had
Yeah.
our times where we weren't our best. That's for sure. But you could just see with Shawn here at this time what a fucking prick he was.
Arrogance.
Oh, just all day. All day. But
And
you talk about people can change.
Shawn's the definition of that.
100%. Anybody can, if they put their mind to changing in life and making better steps and better things for their life. And Shawn Michaels is a prime example that this guy was a dick.
Yep.
I met him when I was younger, and I'll say that he was a fucking dick when I was a kid when I met him.
And the thing is that with Shawn, from what a lot of people say that have met him before and after, they said that he was a complete jackass, and whenever he was nice to you, he was being fake. And when they met him after he became a believer, he was the nicest guy that you could ever imagine.
I was a kid. I remember it like it was yesterday. I think I was 14, maybe. I think it was about 96, right around there, 97, maybe at the latest, 14, 15 years old. And we were kids. We were waiting out after the show that they did. They did a Monday Night Raw, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And, we were waiting out there and he was walking out to his car and all the kids flocked him, myself included, wanted to get a picture, autograph, whatever it was that people wanted. And he had no fucking time for anybody. And when they tried to crowd around him, he told them to get away. He's like, leave me alone, get away, rolled out. And he wasn't even a bad guy at the time, I don't think. I think he was a baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think he was a baby face at the time of some sorts. But irregardless, he was a prick, and I remember that as a kid.
Okay.
But I understand, too.
Yeah, he was going through a lot. And
and these guys want to get out of there. They don't want to see fucking fans sometimes. But to me, if I was in their position, I would try to, remember the people that brought me to the show.
I can honestly say this, Eddie, there's times where he missed flights because he was spending time with the fans. So, flat out, he's one of those people that legitimately cared, and he took his time with fans. So I can respect that greatly about Eddie.
Says he had to go to the next town and get blitzed.
He did.
Well, considering he got the shit beat out of him in Syracuse, right an hour from my house is a telling sign too. So that happened right an hour away from where I live. It happened, I believe it was in Armory Square.
Okay, so did it happen after the show?
I think they were in a bar. The story was they were in a bar drinking, and he got kind of mouthy with some of the Marines, and the Marines got mouthy with them back. And
the clique wasn't, half of them weren't there, right?
No, it was like, I think there was like X-Pac and Davey Boy Smith were the two ones there, or something like that. And it was kind of too late at that point. So, but I can't remember the whole story. It's something to the extent of that.
I think that was the drugs talking with Shawn.
And I'm sure it was those guys that were complete pricks too, and probably were pissed off that this guy was coming into their area, and probably the girls were probably flocking to him, and they didn't like it. So, knowing how a lot of Marines are, that probably is what happened. But
I would not fuck with the Marines. Period. Well, hold on. Well, John, you know them better than I do. So, but like for me, from the outside looking in, I wouldn't mess with them. So.
Yeah, well, everybody's trained in the military in some way. That's a stigma that they think everybody in the Marines or the Army or, whatever is, super tough and all that shit. And the reality is you're trained to do what you're trained to do. And just because you got the title doesn't mean you're tough. You got to earn that shit in life. So, and there's plenty of them. I mean, I've seen. I have a great story about a Marine, so I was in training, Scott Steiner is back. Hello, Scott Steiner. Remember him from a few weeks ago?
No.
The show would have been a lot better with a couple of freaks, don't you think?
Yes.
Do you remember Mr. Steiner from a little while ago when he was on here?
I do.
He's got his freaks on a leash.
Very entertaining.
All right. So I was in training before I went to Iraq. So we were in combat skills training. So we had one of our instructors was an ex-Marine, like recon sniper and shit. I'll never forget his name. His name was, he crossed over to the Air Force later on, but he was in the Marines for ages. and his name was Tech Sergeant Green. I'll never forget that. So he was teaching like combatives, hand-to-hand stuff. They were teaching you, basic stuff like that. And this guy was a fucking beast. Let me just tell you that. So I'm a dumb 22-year-old kid that thinks I'm the toughest kid in the world, and you think you're a badass and everything like that. He asked everybody. They were doing, this drill, where you kind of rolled with them and wrestled. They were teaching you stuff on how to counter things. He says, does anybody want to get in there with me? And I'm like, yeah, fucking, nobody wants to get in there. I'm like, fucking A, I'll get in there with this guy. He's old.
Become a badass, right?
Yeah, I'm a badass. Motherfucker choked me unconscious.
Oh, God.
Unconscious. Like, literally, in like 15 seconds. And I was like, I wasn't tapping. He took me out like a fucking light, bro. I had a newfound respect for older gentlemen at that point. He was probably in his early 40s, and I'm this dumb kid thinking I'm tough. And this guy choked me out like a little bitch. I never forgot that, but I will say this, by the end of it, I was able to not beat him in any way, shape, or form, but I did have one time when I rolled against him that he did not crush me. So there's a lot of tough Marines out there.
You were making progress. So
not much. I think he was trying to be nice to me after kicking the shit out of me a million times. So, that's what happens.
Yeah, that's a good point with what Daniel said.
Shawn trying to help some mentally challenged kid. That's something you wouldn't have had on a card in 97.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that a kid? It was with Down syndrome, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was. And sweet kid, and Shawn was helping him. So
yeah, I don't remember.
So shout out to Shawn for that.
I don't remember.
It was a couple minutes ago in here.
Oh, I was chatting with you, and I wasn't paying attention to that part. I missed that one.
So yeah,
this is a homely crowd here too.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, you got some of the people in the crowd here. Holy shit!
Who?
Big Bad Booty Daddy says should have put his ass in a Steiner recliner.
Oh God!
How is the Big Bad Booty Daddy doing? We haven't seen you in a while over here. How the freaks and everything going for you down in Georgia these days? Are you keeping Rick on a short leash and keeping him away from the conventions, Mr. Steiner?
Now, are you locking Rick up in the Shonies that you used to own? I mean,
you fucking gagging him so when he goes to the conventions, he doesn't say anything. Oh, he's not invited anymore. That was just This guy was funny last time. I remember old Scott Steiner. Look at that picture of him. He looks like an Albert Steiner right there.
Albert Einstein. This match is really good, actually. These two have excellent chemistry.
They always did, Shawn and Steve. They always had great chemistry.
I hate to say it, but after this match, I think it's all downhill.
Might be. Look at Shawn selling on the outside there. I love it.
Oh, God, Shawn's excellent.
He is.
Oh, and I just want to say to everybody out there, thank you so much for your support. Me and John, we are at 1,200 supporters on Facebook because of you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome feat. We appreciate it, everybody. Thank you.
Because whether it is 12 or 1,200 or 2 people, we're grateful.
Always. You got to be.
So, yeah.
You got to be.
So, all right. Do it. Uh-oh. Suplex him. Suplex
Boom.
City.
Boom. Roll up. Nope. Not happening there.
Why isn't Zeus in the Hall of Fame?
They're afraid.
Good God. I think Zeus would be great.
They wanted Brell to induct him and bring him in, but Brell couldn't do it. He wouldn't come in. He's still hot about the Battle of the Tough Guys.
I guess.
He still doesn't like that miserable shit Randy, Hulk's brother.
I'm shocked that they have not made a sequel, man. I mean, just
a modern day no holds barred. Can't a wrestling fan only dream of that?
Dude, fans would just be lining up around the damn corner, man. Like that thing would make $13,000 the first night. I guarantee. Watch that
video again soon. I know we've done it years ago, but that's what I would do again.
Yeah,
that's what I would do again. What a fucking tremendous movie that is. Just imagine that poor bastard Zeus having to shave his eyebrows into that and walking around with that for months when they were taping that show. With a Z in your eyebrow.
Oh my God, yes.
Rumor has it that Daniel is going to be doing that soon.
What, the Z thing? Oh
He's going to
man,
do a Z eyebrow. He's going to grow that unibrow in, and he's going to be rocking that out for Halloween. Excuse me,
dude, that makes sense. That makes fucking sense. I straight up, I really would like to see that. Hell, whenever we go to the show, Daniel, just do it then. Do it in front of everybody.
It takes time. He has to wait till mid-August to bring that in.
Okay.
Well, you see, the profile pic is Professor Scott Einsteiner, one of the smartest men to walk the earth, teaching people Steiner math by day, banging freaks by night. He had freaks 8 days a week. Yes, it's a legend. That's why.
There you go.
He's a legend right there. What are you doing over there? Okay. Oh, Lord. What a moment.
Dookie.
I love the opening scene where he's fighting in the little restaurant there.
Yes.
And he's throwing the pies at the robbers and all that shit. What a fucking movie.
Apparently Vince and Hulk wrote the final script for the movie.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, more power to him.
I think, yeah, you could tell. You could tell they had fun making the movie.
Well, it sure definitely will never be confused with a cinematic masterpiece by any means.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of those ones to remember. I mean, I have the No Holds Barred poster right behind me hanging on my wall.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. And I think ultimately it plus that was the first ever WWF funded movie. So, I mean, it's a classic.
It sure was. Hey, Chris, would you take the reins for just a minute, please?
I will not.
All right.
But I will.
Yeah, I know you will. You're a good guy. That's why.
All right.
You don't have to apologize for Paul Bromwell tonight now.
Oh, thank you. Do you got to take a dump?
I don't do that, but my old man bladder comes out. I drink about 1.5 gallons of water a day. So by night, when we sit down to do our tapings at night, the old man bladder comes out because,
you're pissing like a racehorse.
Well, that's what happens when you stay well hydrated throughout the day. Always, I'm a big guy, about drinking water all day long. So,
Jesse Ventura, do you? Okay, so
why don't you tell me?
So you have a silo full of tortillas and water?
In 1,000 gallons of potable water.
Potable water. That's right. All right, buddy. Go.
I got 400 Oppressa Canarios.
What the fuck is that?
It's a dog.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back.
Beautiful reversal. There you go. Ah, very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the back and forth of reversals between Shawn and Austin. These guys got freaking chemistry for days, and the thing about it is right now, the storyline between Austin, Michaels, and Bret Hart, it's basically like that fight triangle. I mean, like, you can't say really a love triangle, but like a fight triangle. And the thing is that these guys are absolutely just doing top-notch work. I would have to say Shawn and Bret, they are at their peak. Austin is slowly getting there. I think Stone Cold, he hits his peak right around, I would just say right around 98. So he's not quite there yet for his peak, but it's just very fascinating to watch because Shawn was a big factor in the development of Steve Austin, him becoming like a big, believable main event star. So yeah, it's just so fun to watch. They are they're the strange bedfellows. They're the tag team champions that reluctantly tag together, but they got the belts, and they can't handle the rage that they have for each other. So they are just battling out at King Ring. Hopefully they can get all the anger and rage out, because this could potentially cost them their World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships. Do you think that it's going to happen soon, guys? Do you think that they, like the two combustible elements of Shawn and Steve Austin, that they can work together, or do you think it's too much? Do you think it's too much to where they can't last, because I know there's been times where you can't last. I mean, the thing is that you had people like MVP and Matt Hardy, like they were combustible elements. They didn't last too well. Okay, you had people like R-Truth and The Miz. Okay, like they lasted, but you had like John Cena and The Rock where they tag teamed up to go against The Miz and R-Truth. As soon as the match was over, it was goodbye, bedfellow. No more strangeness. Anyways, all right. I'm going nutty, guys. Sorry. All right, Mr. Scott Steiner says that word on the street is that Christopher Nolan originally wanted to make a movie about Mr. Einsteiner's discovery of precology, but sadly decided to make a movie about some unknown guy named Oppenheimer. Honestly, I am looking forward to that movie. Me and my wife, like, we're definitely going to go see it within like the next week or two, because we're fascinated with like the history of the stuff like with the atomic bombs. We feel like it's just fascinating and seeing how those things shaped the world that we live in now, and how that it was eventually a necessary evil to end World War II, which was unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we're going to go see that soon. But like the next movie, like we're probably going to go see is Barbie Baby. Hopefully this weekend, me, my wife, and my daughter, we could go see Come On Barbie, Let's Go Party. So it's going to be a fun weekend coming up, guys. But I got to work. I got to working for a living. So yeah, feels good to be back. But speaking of work, me and John, we're going to be doing more work than ever before, baby, especially when it comes to podcasting, because let's just say that we got some exciting plans coming up. We got some exciting things that are yet to percolate. We got some things that have yet to hatch, but they are in the incubator of preparedness, I guess you could say. And guys, I'm excited. Honestly, when it comes to podcasting, I've never been more excited than I am right now about the future for me and John. So I can't wait to go and share publicly what's going on. I just can't right now. I can't right now, baby. So yeah. Oh, Austin, he covers Shawn. Shawn kicks out. Austin, you got to realize you can't pin him that quick. So Steve Austin's going back to the sit down chin lock, baby. Hopefully he could cut off the air supply to his brain. He could cut off the brain. That way he could pin him long enough when 1, 2, 3 and have that supreme dominance and say, hey, I'm the tag team champion alongside you, but I'm the one that pinned you, so I'm the leader. I'm the dominant alpha male, you son of a bitch. I could see Austin saying that. I could see him thinking that, but you know what? Maybe not. It is what it is. All right, so we got Tim White. He is asking Shawn, do you give up? I could tell that the oxygen is slowly leaving your body. Slowly leaving your body, Shawn. I don't want it to damage you too much. I don't want you to get that brain damage, so to speak, if you will. So what's going to happen? Will Tim White let his conscience get in the way of doing his job, or will he do his job because of his conscience? You decide, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So yeah, they've been in this chin lock for a good minute and a half. So yeah, this is quite interesting. He's trying to prove a point, baby. So is Shawn Michaels. All right, the Freakzilla's got to run. Enjoyed the pay-per-view. I never watched this pay-per-view before, so I don't know how good it was. Good night to all the freaks. Holla if you hear me. All right, Scott, brother, thank you so much for the special appearance. As always, it is a great, great pleasure, and which I know it's all ours, and it's all yours. and it's all around us, baby. So thank you, Scott, and I hope and pray that you have a wonderful night, my friend. All right. Okay, baby. It's gonna be a wild ride now that Scott's gone. It's gonna be not as wild because the freaks and the peaks are gone, but it's all right, baby. We got Steve Austin
and the peaks.
They're gone. They have vanished, if you will.
If you will.
So yeah, just imagine Dusty Rhodes with the big bad booty daddy gimmick. Holla if you hear me, baby.
I could picture him as the big bad booty daddy.
And his number one freak would be Sapphire.
That's sweet Sapphire. She's the sweetest sugar, baby.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's as sweet as the candy cane.
Yeah, me and Daniel we were talking about Sapphire earlier, and yeah.
I always loved the Shawn Michaels kip up that he would do when he would get knocked down or do a move, and he'd be doing his comeback. So does and he would do that kip up. I always loved it.
I learned the kip up whenever like my brother would eat Mexican food while we were growing up, and he was trying to point his ass directly right in my face before I lay down for bed. So I would kip up to escape it.
Was he trying the 3-bean IcoPro shake?
Oh God, yeah. The Choco Taco vanilla bean extract flavor.
That's a hell of a blend.
Yeah, it is.
That's a hell of a blend right there. What's he doing there? He's pulling on Shawn's shorts to get him in the ring.
It looks like he was sticking his thumb up his ass.
His ass is hanging out now. Please put the pants up now, Shawn.
Oh, that's why the girls are going crazy.
Yeah. Like he doesn't know. So he really has a HBK heart in his HBK initials there tattooed on his ass.
I guess.
Oh my Lord. Pull him up now, please.
Apparently he posed for Playgirl, so.
Hey, more power to him, I guess, right?
Yeah.
More power to the guy.
Well, I post for I post for my wife, so does that count? How you doing?
Is she paying you?
Oh, she is.
There you go.
Oh, believe me.
She's paying you in other ways. Oh. Referee Tim White just got knocked down there as Steve Austin got thrown into him. Shawn goes for the super kick. He misses.
Yeah.
Stunner. Boom.
Oh, beautiful stunner.
Beautiful stunner right there.
Shawn sold that great.
But he's out. No referee here. 1, 2, 3,
no referee.
4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10.
Keep going. He's done.
If the announcer from Argentina was there, he would have counted it because he actually is a referee on the side.
Austin just stunned Tim White there for his trouble.
Of course. Super kick to the face.
Super kick by Shawn. 1, 2.
Whenever
3,
the super count,
4.
whenever super kick actually mattered.
Here comes referee Mike Chioda for the count now. Let's see. Trying to wake up Tim White. He's not getting up.
No.
Come on, make the count, Chioda. Let's go. Shawn's gonna super kick both of these refs here. I got a feeling this is coming.
Didn't Tim White get hurt so badly that he stopped becoming? He stopped with refereeing?
Oh, Chioda got in the face.
Isn't that like a DQ?
Well, both of them hit each referee there. So I have no idea. Is Tim going to make the count? 1. 2.
Come on.
Nope. Austin kicks out.
Come on.
Yeah, how's that not a DQ for both of these guys?
I don't know. Where's Scruffy McGee at?
He didn't book this one. Now Hebner's in there, so we know we're fucked.
Whoa.
Come on, hit Hebner with the stunner, Austin, please.
A man of dignity, honor, and respect, okay?
He's pissed now about both of them doing it. Now he's just throwing the match out. Double DQ.
Which I'm going to send you the official Earl Hebner shirt that says "Damn right I did."
Please do.
Which I know you're going to rock that thing.
Absolutely. The fans are not happy about that double DQ stupid finish. They don't like that.
Well, think about it though. It
makes sense.
They booked themselves right into a corner like this match. So
yeah, they did.
Who were you really going to put over?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they still got the tag belts at this point. You know, they're taking each other on, but you know, it makes sense.
Because if one got pinned, then they would look like the weaker tag champ. So it is so like the believability of this being like a super team wouldn't be as effective. So just
Who did they drop it to? Do you remember?
It was Owen and Bulldog.
Was it what they dropped it back to them?
Yep. And then Steve and I think it was Yep. They won the titles back.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I think the crowd is firmly behind Stone Cold Steve Austin here.
And I'm firmly behind those tag titles because they're the greatest tag titles in the history of the business.
Wait, Pat Patterson came out there and he just fucking laid the law down. They were about to go at it again, and he just got out there and pointed him and said, "No, you go to the back." They're not fucking with Pat Patterson.
Would you fuck with Pat Patterson, seriously?
I bet you Pat was a tough guy in his own way.
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
The toughest guy out there, though, is Jerry Briscoe.
Dude, man, I do not want him to what?
They would say him and his brother were two of the baddest dudes for years.
I wouldn't want them to twist me like a pretzel. Thank you.
The Briscoe Brothers Body Shop.
And they're smart enough to advertise it on their certain stages that WWE made. So just saying, that's good for them.
I wonder if the Briscoe Brothers Body Shop is still a thing.
I don't know. I'm going to look that up, actually.
They walk out together, though.
Yeah.
Walk out together and end it. Now we got Faarooq in the back with Pettingill. And there is a whole bunch of new people in the nation. I have no idea who that's with. Clarence Mason. They have 3 other guys I've never seen. They're going over the angle from last week where the nation finally attacked the Undertaker.
Okay.
Oh, yes, Paul Bearer's outside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
As far as I can see, it's still open.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's awesome.
You can look up 4315 North Hubert Avenue, Tampa, Florida.
Interesting.
All right. Yes, sir. So there you go.
Well, it's still kicking.
Mm-hmm.
In Tampa, Florida, yeah. It is. Look at that.
They can't call it Tampa Bay anymore because it's Tom Brady.
They're still open there in Tampa, Florida.
They are. Hey, it's Baker Bay now.
They haven't posted on their Facebook account since 2019, though.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's been a long time. No, 2020. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
It's been a hot minute since they've done anything. No, it's closed, brother. It says permanently closed.
Really?
Yeah, it says permanently closed.
Why the hell did you get that? Okay, whatever.
They probably retired. The guys are old, you know.
Okay, I got you. I thought of a great theme song for us. We are the Retro Wrestling Revival.
I like the Old Nation theme song. I thought it fit these guys perfectly.
Podcast power. Just saying.
Right there.
Podcast power. There you go.
We'll make some shitty shirt up with a hand coming out of it for the shitty shirt. Yeah.
I think Wake Up Ahmed would probably be like our number 1 seller.
We tried that merch thing at one point. That really sold like hotcakes, huh?
Yeah, that was a big mistake.
I wouldn't say it was a mistake. It didn't cost anything. I think we sold about 8 shirts.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is that for us, like, we weren't as established as we are now. I think now we're in a better we are in better shape, but ultimately we're still not there yet to do that. I think we're going to get there very soon.
Now we could sell 12.
Hell yeah, we can.
Hey, times are tough out there.
They are. But by God, get through those hard times with a Wake Up Ahmed shirt.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We got Doc Hendricks here interviewing Undertaker and Paul in the back.
Do you hear Doc saying we will always love you?
Yeah. Speak for yourself, Doc. Paul still got that big Band-Aid on his face from the burns, but everything else is magically healing real fast.
Hell yeah, dude. Magically delicious. And the thing is that speaking of Paul Bearer, make sure to check out one of my latest reels. I did Eli Drake, aka LA Knight, who was actually managed by Percy Pringle, aka Paul Heyman.
Where at?
You're not Paul Heyman. Dear God, I'm sorry.
Paul Bear.
I'm tired, guys. I apologize. It was Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. It was a version of the NWA.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Never knew that.
That's correct. So there you go.
Here comes the Undertaker now. How long will his entrance take?
13 minutes.
Boy, this entrance, it's probably the greatest entrance of all time, though.
Oh, God, yeah. I got the opportunity to experience it a couple times.
Yeah, me too.
And the thing is that I got to experience it with my dad at No Way Out 2005. And just, dude, just the energy, everything, man. It's just like every single person, like they stop what they're doing and like they strictly it's like a magnetic presence with the Undertaker. It's just wow. I can't describe it, man. It's just all inspiring.
It's one of those things, if you never saw it live, you missed out on, because it definitely just sucks the whole audience into the to the pageantry of it, to the way that he carried himself during it, that slow prodding walk that he had. God.
Oh yeah.
They don't make him like the Undertaker anymore, that's for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. And the thing is that they had the opportunity of making somebody similar, which was Bray Wyatt, but they did horrible booking with him. So, anyway.
I always say this, Chris. I think Bray Wyatt is the one that should have broke the streak.
I agree. 1,000%. But instead, I don't know why the living hell they did what they did the year after Brock broke his streak. And then, yeah, let's have Bray go. Let's have Bray lose to the Undertaker. But like we're trying to build Bray up, being the next phenom. That made no sense to me, and that could actually go along with one of our show ideas coming up. So just saying.
I would have loved to have seen Bray be the one to break his streak.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think he would have been a great fit for it, and it would have really passed the torch on to the next generation of talent that was out there.
Because Brock didn't need to do it.
No, Brock Lesnar's a made man no matter what he does. He didn't need that.
But I think that was a Vince McMahon call. So
Brock Lesnar didn't ever need any of that.
No.
Brock Lesnar had it all on his own. He didn't need to break that streak. But hey, if there's a believable person that was to break it, it's Brock Lesnar. So, hey, it is what it is. You can't go and cry over spilled milk or anything like that happened. To be honest, though, if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna have somebody break it, I think Bray would have been the one. But I never necessarily wanted to see it broken, though. Did you?
No, I thought it should have been something that was forever special, and it's that way. Years from now, we can still debate it, saying, "Well, who was the closest to do it? Who should have done it?"
Mm-hmm.
Not, oh shit, he's already lost twice.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take away anything about the Undertaker to me that they broke it, but it just would have been a cooler feather in his cap to never have that streak broken. Which
I agree.
Knowing how much people respected the Undertaker and how selfless of a guy that he was in the ring for so many people. I don't think it was ever anything to the Undertaker that he was upset about or anything. He would have done anything for the business and what he was supposed to do or what he was told to do, because that's just the type of guy that the Undertaker is. And
I agree.
He's a legend for a reason, not just because of his accomplishments in the ring, but for what he's done for people in the back, the people's careers that he elevated.
Yeah.
Undertaker would do anything for people, I'm sure.
You know what the crazy part about it is, like with the Undertaker is, like you said, he would do whatever was asked of him, and he was so well respected by every single person. He was actually basically the godfather of the locker room. Basically, if like there was shit that went down, and if it got in, and it's similar to like me and you growing up, where somebody said, "Well, I'm going to tell your dad," and you're like, "Oh no, don't." The Undertaker was like that father figure within the locker room, to where, okay, let's bring Taker in. No, don't do it. And you would straighten up simply for the fact that you didn't want to face him.
Do you think, as we're looking at the Undertaker here in his match with Faarooq, do you think the Undertaker was probably the most respected veteran in the history of wrestling in the locker room?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I would think so too. I mean, Lord knows we weren't there, but just my assumption would be that he probably was the most well-respected guy in the locker room in the history of wrestling.
I can't think of anybody else that would even come close. I would say maybe Sting, a close second, and maybe Steve Austin. But other than that, I can't think of anybody else.
I wouldn't throw Austin in there because he had his temper tantrums at points and took his ball and ran home. Undertaker wasn't a guy that did that type of shit,
What about Sting? Would you say Sting is a close second?
I think Sting is a person that everybody respected, but I don't necessarily think just my opinion, and it's not a knock on. He seems like a very quiet, reserved, and just easygoing type of guy that really just doesn't have a problem with anybody and will do anything that's right. But he doesn't seem like the type of guy that would be your locker room leader, where he would hold people accountable for things. And that's not a knock on him in any way. It just, he seems like the type of personality that is just such an easygoing guy to get along with and just cares so much about everybody out there. And it's just a good, overall good dude, but probably doesn't have a lot of mean bones in his body, and probably is a stern type. The Undertaker is the type of guy that you could just see, even probably in his house as a father, probably is this stern type of presence to his children too, I'm sure.
I agree. And I
could be wrong, but hey.
No, I mean, I guarantee you his kids, they're going to turn out fantastic. The Undertaker seems like a very dedicated father, a very good husband, and someone that's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that his kids are raised right. So I could see that.
Oh, shit.
Good God.
Wow. He was trying to walk the ropes there and just spring back there. What a fucking move for a guy his size, dude.
Oh, God. Which I would say Faarooq probably would be like a locker room leader as well.
I would definitely think he was too, but not to the extent of the Undertaker. Imagine this, this is the time when the Monday Night Wars are really heating up here in 97. So the Monday Night Wars are really heating up. WCW is, really taking the WWF to school and really just turning it up, just a huge notch for them. But, WCW implodes very fast here over the next coming, year or two, where everybody just starts going into business for themselves. A lot of cancers in the locker room. Imagine if WCW would have had a locker room leader like The Undertaker. Do you think it could have made a difference for their longevity?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, because you wouldn't have because you wouldn't have the inmates running the asylum.
I agree.
And you wouldn't have the mutiny, and you wouldn't have the nonsensical bullshit that went on. Not saying that they weren't successful for a period of time, but ultimately I think the lack of leadership was a big part of what led to the ultimate failure of the company.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I really do. I think maybe things could have turned out differently for some of the things that were going on there. I'm not saying it could have saved the company or anything like that, but I think it definitely could have helped them in a tremendous way. And who knows? I mean, throwing that what if factor out there, maybe it could have been something that could have turned around people's personalities. It could have turned around how they carried themselves, how they were booked, how they did things, if they would have had a guy like him. So
I think the one that was probably the closest, but he wasn't the same person whenever he went to the company, was Bret Hart. I think Bret Hart, he could have possibly been that leader, but ultimately just...
he was too jaded.
Yeah.
He was too jaded by the business. He was too mad at the world. He was too angry. And yeah, he just, like you said, he wasn't who he was. And, you know, years before, he was very angry at the world. And I agree. He's kind of stayed angry at the world at certain points, it seems.
I agree. Just, man, it's a shame, man, just what certain things do to people.
I wonder who really could have been a good locker room leader for WCW at that point. I mean, maybe Sting for sure that you mentioned. I don't think Flair is a guy that ever would have been a locker room leader at all.
Lex?
I don't think he would have been either with his personality.
DDP.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe DDP wasn't a very well-liked guy by a lot of people backstage.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he had his issues with people. He was very over the top, his personality, from what people had said. Not that they didn't like him and hated him, but there was people that I think his personality kind of rubbed the wrong way at certain points.
You know what? Booker T.
He was so young though at that point, Chris. You know, he just got his big break at the end of it. You know, at the end of WCW. You could go down the list of people out there, and they didn't have that locker room leader like they did, like WWF did with the Undertaker. They just didn't. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't have good people there. They had wonderful talents and great people. They just didn't have the same, you know, that WWF had with a guy like Undertaker there. I
agree.
It's just the way it is. What's going on, Jeremy? He says, "What's up, guys? Late to the party. What's the topic at the moment?" We're discussing, Jeremy, King of the Ring 97 right now. We're wrapping up the pay-per-view. We're discussing right now the locker room leaders and how the Undertaker was the WWF's big locker room leader. And what if WCW would have had a guy like the Undertaker in the back to control the people in the back there and really put people in check when they needed to? Could it have changed the trajectory of the company around? Could it have really changed how they do things?
Would have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I really do. I think it would have been a great, you know, thing for WCW to have. But look at the top, though. And we love Eric Bischoff. This is no disrespect to Mr. Bischoff in any way, shape, or form. He was a young guy. He had a lot of shit that was working against him. Like, Eric Bischoff wasn't Vince McMahon either.
That's true.
You know?
And like, with all due respect, we love Eric. We love the guy's accomplishments. We think he's one of the greatest minds within the business within the past 30 years. But the thing is that Eric did love to be loved. He loved to be like, "Hey, Eric, good job," and like, "Hey guys, let's go get a beer together." That type of boss. And
Vince wasn't doing that shit much.
No.
If you were real special, he would do something like take you out for a steak dinner, they would say. And not that he wouldn't interact with them, but when he really started to, you know, feel the pressure of WCW, he wasn't a guy that was going to be doing that with people much. And it's a difference too, though, when you look at Bischoff, and this is in fairness to Mr. Bischoff here as well. The difference between owning your company and running your company are two different things. Vince owned his company, ran his company. He had full power and control of his company. Eric was the guy that ran it, but at the same thing as it was owned by Ted Turner and Ted Turner's guys and the rotating, you know, leadership that was coming in there. It just wasn't, you know, Eric didn't have the same luxury that Vince did of owning his own product.
God, my damn allergies. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine, buddy.
Because I know it looks like I'm blinking my eyes a lot, but yeah, freaking allergies.
I think if Eric would have bought WCW, and I'm being honest here, I think if he would have bought WCW, I think we would have had the same fate that WCW had. I don't think it would have been successful.
No, I agree. But do you think that Eric learned from the lessons of the original World Championship Wrestling dying that he could have carried over to the Rebirth?
Not at that time of his life, I don't think. Okay. You know, he was still young, younger, and it was in his early 40s. He was still, I think, kind of that mindset that he had, of being maybe a little bit cocky, a little bit brash, all those things. And he never had the money to fully buy it outright. He needed investors too, so he would have still had to kind of answer.
Yeah.
Jeremy says, with Hogan and Kevin Nash having so much power with creative, they should have been locker room leaders, but their greed was the downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Excellent point, Jeremy. It's very true. No disrespect, Hogan's my favorite of all time. Anybody that's ever watched the show for a long time knows my love for Hulk Hogan and everything that he did. But Hogan loved money, and he loved the power, and he loved the creative control. He loved the greed. He loved everything that came with it. And I don't blame him for that. None of us are ever going to be in that position.
Mm-hmm.
But he took advantage of the situation that he had.
And Hogan claims that he only used his creative control card once in his career.
Right. I love Hulk.
Come on.
I love Hulk, but there's no way that shit's true.
That explanation doesn't work for me, John.
No. That don't work for me, brother.
It doesn't. And but yeah, I'm just saying, like, for Hulk, I mean, the guy, legend, he's a big reason why we have WrestleMania like we do. He's a big reason why modern wrestling is the way that it is. He helped lay the foundation, guys, whether you like it or not, for the success of the wrestling business. And the thing is that with Hogan, love him or hate him, he was a necessity for the evolution of the business. And once again, we said this before, but he's a prime example of, you don't need a huge moveset to get over.
Yep.
He had the five moves of doom or whatever, and
yeah, he originated that before John Cena.
Oh God! And the guy was making millions. The guy was selling out buildings left and right, and it's all about the entertainment. Okay, Hogan was one of the original sports entertainers that really brought it up to a level that very few have even touched. So I'm just saying, like, the wrestling is important, but the entertainment right there, Hogan was a big factor, and it just skyrocketed.
Jeremy says, I thought wrestlers would have rallied around Double J after the Bash of the Beach stunt with Hulk. You know why I don't think they rallied with him, Jeremy? And this is my opinion. And Chris, you tell me what you think about this. I don't think they rallied with him because I don't think they looked at Double J as the main event level guy, even in the back. And then in addition to that, this is no disrespect to Vince Russo, but Vince divided that locker room in so many ways. I think sometimes that, and it wasn't all his fault. He was always trying to do something for people. They knew that Double J was his golden boy, and I think there was a lot of people that just didn't like him, and I think that's why they didn't all rally with him after the Bash of the Beach stuff. That's my opinion.
Oh yeah. Well, this is not going to be a popular perspective, and I know some people might they might have this clipped for Russo to hear, which I'm more
leave
than
it alone. Who cares? You don't even need to mention that.
But I'm gonna tell you this: I believe Russo knew that he could shape and mold.
Oh, Tombstone!
Oh, beautiful Tombstone! He could shape and mold the younger talent by waving that carrot.
Sure.
When it comes to a push, and he was able to manipulate them easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's how he was able to divide the locker room and say that he had support, because the older guys, yes, you had a bunch of politickers. I ain't gonna lie to you, you do. That's how they got to the level that they did. But they saw through that crap with Russo, saying, hey, you can't dangle that damn carrot right in front of us, because we know that it's nonsense. So Russo, like, in my opinion, should have been willing to say, hey, this sucks. Yes, it's frustrating, but hey, veterans, what can we do? How can we meet, like, within the middle to where you can help put these younger guys over, but we can also make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would have made a huge difference instead of like the strict division. And I think Jeff Jarrett was, using Russo to get a push.
Absolutely. You can't blame him, though.
No. I can't.
Oh, another choke slam for Faarooq.
Oh,
there.
beautiful in the match.
Faarooq lost this one to the Undertaker here at the end of King of the Ring 97 here. Not really a bad match, but wasn't anything to write home about at all. You know, it was good. What about Faarooq here as we see Faarooq lose for the end of the show? Do you think Faarooq could have been a world champion?
Yes, hands down.
I know he was in WCW, folks, as Ron Simmons, of course, but
yeah.
I think Faarooq would have been a believable champ at this point in time, too.
Oh, without a doubt. I think, honestly, they missed the boat on it. Like, with as hot as a Nation of Domination was, I believe they should have had Faarooq as champion, and then they should have had The Rock take it off of him eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Because you saw the dissension between the Nation of Domination, between The Rock, the young bull facing the old guard, like the older lion. And just, dude, even if it was over the Intercontinental Championship, they could have sold that feud better with the belt as well. But I think the world title, it would have been perfect. Even to make Faarooq a short-term champion, I believe he deserved it.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
So,
Jeremy mentions he wanted the New Blood versus the Millionaires Club to be his NWO versus WCW.
Yes.
I'm maybe in the minority here, but I actually like the New Blood versus the Millionaires Club thing. I thought it was kind of cool.
I did too. I thought it was really, which it was ahead of its time for what he was trying to do, because, yeah, like a lot of people, they're like, wait a minute, Chris, really? Well, yeah, because the thing is that, once again, Russo was manipulating like the younger guys, but he did want them to have those opportunities to thrive and to be in front of like the camera, so like they can get that experience, so they can get over. But the problem is with certain young talents, you can't just throw them right in front of like a national television screen and hope they get over by more experience, because ultimately you're gonna have the average fan look and say, these guys look like amateurs. Why do I want to watch this? And that's where I feel like with like the power plant, they should have been more seasoned, like the power plant, or something like the NXT brand would have been great for something like World Championship Wrestling. So just saying.
So this was an interesting twist at the end here. Ahmed Johnson came out to kind of talk some sense into the Undertaker, and then Undertaker went to go take a swing at him, and Ahmed Johnson hit him with the Pearl River plunge there.
Uh-oh.
So they're setting up Ahmed versus the Undertaker, and this is the whole time that, time frame where maybe some people remember that Ahmed said that he was supposed to get the belt at this point, from the Undertaker. He believed he was getting the belt when he came to that show.
Vince told everybody that.
Yeah, that's what Ahmed's story is, that, he really was going to give him that, and this was his time next. But so they're setting up the next pay-per-view or the next upcoming feud for the Undertaker here with Ahmed Johnson coming up there. So good end of the show. I like that ending to the King of the Ring. Honestly,
the show is fantastic, and like with all due respect to Ahmed, but with as hot as the Undertaker was, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, the Hart Foundation, Hunter, Mankind, the whole thing with Paul Bearer and like the eventual reveal of Kane, all that stuff. Where did Ahmed think that he fit in with all of that storytelling? Because ultimately it would have made no sense to give him the world title.
Well, they were kind of jobbing him out too, a little bit here and there. Like, he didn't win against Triple H earlier in the card here in King of the Ring. He had been losing a few matches as well. So they weren't jobbing him out, but he was definitely had, a few losses here and there. So I don't know. I mean, it was interesting, a little bit there. Let's see. Y'all remember when Johnson joined Harlem?
Unfortunately,
he could have been better. Yeah, his name was Big T, if I remember correctly. Was that it?
Yes, because Booker T lost the T.
Yeah, it looked like he swallowed the old Ahmed Johnson in there, and had a couple extras.
We joke around about holla holla, Mr. Teddy Long, but the older Teddy looks like he swallowed No, wait. The younger Teddy looks like he swallowed the older Teddy.
Yeah. Ahmed did the same thing when he disappeared from the WWF and he came back. He was unrecognizable when he came back at first.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I remember when he debuted and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then I'm like, is that Ahmed Johnson?
Yep.
Because like I said, I was an Ahmed Johnson fan as a kid. And I was like, that's Ahmed Johnson? I was like, oh my God. I go, what happened to him? And I remember I was talking to Max in the night, so it just reminds me of a conversation when we were kids because we always used to talk about it. And me and Jeff, had talked about it in school or whatever it was. We're like, fucking Ahmed Johnson looks terrible. What happened to him? Because this was the day before he had all the newsletters and the internet and everything like that. And you'd shoot the shit with your friends after the Raw or Nitro when they come in, and he looked terrible at that point.
Yeah, and the thing is with Ahmed, I don't think he realized, especially at the time, that whenever you eat and then you go straight to bed,
it doesn't work out for you.
It doesn't work out for it goes straight to your stomach, it goes straight to your thighs, and it goes straight to your ass, Ahmed. Come on, buddy. You should have known better than that, especially somebody that was as roided up as him. And speaking of back in the day, this is gonna be so fun, like with what we're doing going forward, because we have so many ideas that we can do. Did you used to tape trade at all?
I didn't.
Whenever.
No,
you didn't. Okay, so let me guess. You went to the video store and you got your wrestling tapes.
Yeah, I would. And then when I was older and my parents and I had a job, or I had a paper route from the time I was 13 to 16. So my parents, like my dad, would let you get like one pay-per-view every couple of months or whatever it is at that point when I was older.
That's really fair.
Yeah, it was. They were expensive, and my dad was a working man and stuff, and was a hard worker, and money didn't grow on trees. So my dad would always give you like every other month that he would let you get a pay-per-view or whatever it was, and then if you wanted another one, you had to pay for it. So for me, it was never a problem. Like I had money as a kid, because I had a job.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I'd want to get one of the shows, and so I didn't need to tape trade really. I would record them on a VCR, and I would keep them though.
God, I missed the VCR.
Yeah, it was the days where you had your VCR and you could just go hit record during the show, and you'd have a pay-per-view, and you could watch it later on or whatever it was afterwards. So.
Oh yeah, and so before we go tonight, what was your first ever tape you remember renting?
Wow.
Wrestling tape.
It was an old Coliseum. The Coliseum. Jeremy says he still has his. That's awesome, Jeremy.
That is awesome.
And I do remember GI Bro. That was a good one too. Oh my gosh. I can't remember the exact one, but they used to have the Coliseum videos that you would get, and they would do like the best of type of ones or whatever it was.
Okay.
Or they'd have the pay-per-views that you would get. I would go back and I'd watch the old ones. I remember the video store that I used to get them at as a kid. It was a Great American Supermarket that my mom would go to, and we would get them at the Great American Supermarket, the videos, and you'd rent them, and you get a couple days to rent them. And then we had a convenience store, like it was a bigger like type of mini grocery store, convenience store. Yeah. And we would they would have tapes there that you could rent too, and we would get them from there. And then you had Video King. I don't know if you guys had Video King growing up.
No.
Yeah, we had Video King, which was like a chain of video stores.
We had Blockbuster and we had Hollywood Video.
Yeah, we got those later on, but Video King was like our big one till like Hollywood Video came in. Yeah. Jeremy's first tape he rented was WrestleMania 6. He was 5. God, I remember watching that on pay-per-view as a kid, and I cried like a baby when Hulk lost, and I was just adamant to my dad that Hulk did not get pinned, that he kicked out. I was so mad.
Oh yeah,
he kicked out. Hulk,
my God, he kicked out. And for me, my first ever tape that I remember, and this was, it was the day that I graduated 5th grade. So hold on a second. I'm trying to think here. How old was I? I was either like 8 or 9. And like my first tape, it was WrestleMania 10. We got it it was Hollywood Video. And the thing is that I remember we were my dad, he had to go stop by work really quick. We were driving up like the Chesapeake Bay, and which I remember like the hard plastic wrapped around like the cassette cover, like that big huge X for like the 10, and like the purple lining to it, everything, and then just going home and just putting like the videotape in, and just, man, absolutely just an awesome experience. And then hearing Men on a Mission sing like the WrestleMania 10 theme, and then just all that stuff, just seeing the greatest match in the history of Mania for me, which was Owen versus Brett. And seeing the ladder match with Razor and with Shawn. I mean, just so many memories. But that right there is, videotape wise, is what first got it for me with videotapes. So yeah,
my introduction was a Hulk Hogan match, and it got me right from the start when I saw Hulk Hogan as a kid. I think I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my mom would always say it was the greatest mistake she ever made, because I got so hooked on it, and I was sucked in right from the start when I saw Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And it's like they introduced me, her and my dad did, to it, and I was glued on it when I saw Hogan. He was the coolest to me, and I would watch the cartoons with the Rock and Wrestling and everything like that. Jeremy said his first wrestling match he saw on TV was Steamboat versus Flair from Chicago. That would have been probably Chi-Town Rumble, if I remember correctly.
I think that's 88. I believe.
I think it was Chi-Town Rumble 88. It should have been 88, I believe. Chi-Town Rumble right there. Great. And, we watched that a while ago, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we did, actually. And the thing is that
tremendous match.
Me and you, like, we're not the biggest Flair fan, but ultimately, I would have to say, with the right opponent, Flair is outstanding, and Ricky was the perfect opponent for Ric Flair. So,
Ricky was a good opponent for anybody. He could work with anybody, my friend. Let me tell you that. He was something. Yeah. Let's see. He said yes, 88. I was 4 that year. Yep. God, what a good times in the old wrestling days of everybody.
Oh God, just imagine a Ricky Steamboat facing, I would have to say, a Shawn Michaels in his prime.
Yep. Woo. Sign me up for that anytime. Anytime. Well, we had a great time with everybody tonight. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it, whether you're checking out live later on, whenever it might be that you check this out, the show. We hope you had a good time with us and enjoyed some of the banter and discussion. Closing thoughts tonight, my friend.
I just want to say, brother, this was absolutely extremely enjoyable. It was fun. This is another reminder of why we love to do this. We just love like the banter, like we love to talk. Like the pay-per-view is like the background, and basically like the foundation is us just being able like to hang out and celebrate our fandom as wrestling fans. So brother, I can't wait for things to this gravy train with biscuit wheels for it to continue to roll with you, man. So thank you for being my partner, and fans out there, thank you for celebrating the fandom with us. So I appreciate it.
Well, we've been doing this a long time together. I don't even think we recognize how many shows we've done through the years. I bet we've been going for about 4+ years together at least. So it's always a blast to do it with you, my friend, and definitely a great time. Jeremy says, hey, that was late. See y'all next Monday. I'm going to enjoy. I like the page. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it. We might do another bonus show this week later on over the weekend or something if we get some time. So, keep an eye on the page. We sporadically like to do some bonus shows and stuff. So we really appreciate it. And we'll definitely be back next Monday. Next Monday is Nitro, though. So we're going to be doing our Nitro for the week, and then we'll go flip-flop that to the Raw. So we'll be back for that. But everybody be good. Be safe. We really appreciate it. Like, follow the page here. Subscribe on YouTube. All that good stuff. We got some great stuff coming up, and we really appreciate it, everybody. So for Brother Martin, I'm John. We are out of here for tonight, and have no fear. We'll be back again real soon. And be good, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next time right here on the Retro Wrestling Revival.